Hey kids!
This is Princess Readalong and
The Taste.
From Kids Reading Corner 207, and today we're going to read First Graders from Mars, Episode 3, Nergal and the Great Space Race. Story by Shana Corey. Pictures by Mark Teague. First Graders from Mars.
To Lee Solly, Bud Nick, with the banks, meet, SC. For Zoe, have fun in first grade, MT.
It was the first day of Martian Health Week. We will end the week with a space race, said Miss Vortex. I know we will all try to do our Martian best.
16 thinking capsules started to buzz. I have been waiting for this all year, said Horace. Me too, said Pelly. I'm a whiz at 100-meter dash, said Tara.
Nergal was the only Martian in Pod 1 who was not excited about the race.
Nergal remembered last year's race. He had not done his Martian best. He had done his Martian worst.
Health is only part of health, said Miss Vortex. What we eat is also important. She fed a rock to a plant. The plant did a jumping jack. That rock had minerals, she said. Healthy food gives us energy.
What about unhealthy foods? Asked Nergal. Let's find out, said Mrs. Vortex. Nergal fed a knobber pop to a plant. The plant wilted. Nergal knew how it was feeling.
All week, Pod 1 learned about health and fitness. They learned about the 450 food groups. They learned about balanced meals.
In the mornings, they practiced the moonwalk. In the afternoons, they practiced the shuttle run.
During lunch, Nergal ate his oozit. Boing, boing. He bounced off the ceiling. Watch out, warned the lunch lady. Too much sugar can make you crash. Yes, said Nergal. I see. Finally, it was race day. Nergal's stomach was tied in knots. He raised his foot. Can I go see the nurse? He asked. You are looking a little green, said Miss Vortex.
I'm sick, Nergal said. The nurse took his temperature. 90 below zero. You're fine, he said. He sent Nergal back to Pod 1.
Nergal found everyone outside. Oh, goody, said Pelly. You're just in time for the race. Pod 1 started to warm up. They stretched, they twisted, they curled.
The first event is the shuttle run, called Mrs. Vortex. Nergal's stomach dropped. His tentacles flopped.
On your mark, get set! Before Miss Vortex finished, Nergal started to run. He ran and ran and ran.
Where are you going? Called Pelly. You are running the wrong way, yelled Tara. Stop! Shouted Horace, but Nergal didn't stop. Nergie, what are you doing home? Asked Nergal's mom. Nergal started to cry. I don't want to go to the race, he sobbed. I'm not a good runner. Nergal's dad gave him a hug. That's okay, he said. You're a good hopscotcher. No one's good at everything. You are, sniffled Nergal.
Nergal's mom started to giggle. What's so funny? Asked Nergal. I was just thinking about the time your dad ran a 3-legged race, said Nergal's mom.
I was the only one with 2 legs, remembered Nergal's dad. Hubba, 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 he laughed. Nergal and his mom laughed too. Ha, heebie, heebie, heebie.
I guess I'm not a good runner either, said Nergal's dad. I guess it runs in the family.
Nergal hugged him. That's okay. That's okay, he said. You are a great dad. I try, said Nergal's dad. That's what matters, said Nergal's mom.
Nergal's parents took him back to school. Nergal, said Miss Vortex. We were worried. I'm sorry, said Nergal. I'm not a very good runner. But you ran so far, said Horace. The space race is not about being good. The space race is not about being good, said Miss Vortex. It's about trying new things. The 100-meter dash is next. Would you like to run, Nergal?
Nergal looked at his pod mates. He looked at his mom and dad. Ya best, he said. I'll try. Ya-bay! Everyone cheered.
Pod 1 picked up their meters. On your mark, get set, blast off, called Miss Vortex. Nergal took off running. He ran and ran and ran.
But this time he stopped at the finish line. He didn't win, but he tried his Martian best.
I am proud of you, Pod, said Miss Vortex. As a reward for your hard work during Martian Health Week, I made saucer cakes. Ya bum, shouted Pod 1.
I thought sweets were bad for you, said Tara. Only if you overdo it, said Mrs. Vortex. Everyone tried a saucer cake. Hibbay, said Tara. These are burnt. I am not a very good cook, admitted Mrs. Vortex.
Nergal patted her arm. That's okay, he said. You're a great teacher. What matters is you tried your Martian best. The end. Well, what did you think about that story, kids? Well, what did you think about that story, The Taste?
I thought it was a great book because Nergal was nervous of the space race and how they were learning about health and everything. And if you eat healthy foods, it will make you more energized. And how at the end he didn't win, but he still got a saucer cake. Well, what did you think of that book, Princess Read-A-Lot?
I liked it because it lets me know that sometimes you don't have to always win, but you're always trying your best, or as they say, your Martian best. And sometimes if you try hard enough, you might win. Well, the end. Thanks for listening and read lots.